Have you noticed that we're living in a world where sitting has become the norm? We have breakfast, sitting at the table, spend hours in front of the computer or behind the wheel, sit down for lunch, then relax on the couch while watching movies or scrolling through social media. When we get used to a certain routine, we ignore the harm it can cause, especially in the long run. The fact is, this seemingly harmless habit hides significant health consequences, especially when repeated day after day, week after week, for years. Sitting for long periods contributes to chronic lower back pain, caused by the strain placed on the spine and core muscles. In fact, estimates suggest that up to 80% of people worldwide will experience back pain at some point in their lives, and excessive sitting is considered a major aggravating factor. On top of that, we start experiencing joint stiffness, especially in the knees and hips, since natural movement in these areas is constantly reduced and limited to just a few angles. We also can't ignore the negative impact on metabolism. The less we move, the slower our bodies become, making it harder to burn calories and promoting fat accumulation. It's interesting to think about how this habit of sitting for practically everything is relatively recent in human history. Our ancestors had to walk long distances to hunt, gather, and survive. They would squat to prepare food or perform daily tasks, and they rarely rested on chairs, sofas, or benches. Over time, comfortable furniture, office life, and urban lifestyles emerged, all tied to furniture designed for a sedentary existence. While these conveniences are practical, they end up sabotaging our posture and degrading skills that were once essential for daily life. The human body's natural resting position, a deep squat with heels on the ground and an upright torso, has been replaced by chairs and armchairs. The good news is that there are simple yet effective practices to restore mobility and strengthen key muscle groups. One of them is precisely what many call the resting squat. And that's exactly what this video is about. This ancestral and incredibly simple solution will make it clear how the resting squat can counteract the damage caused by modern sedentary life, proving all the benefits that practicing it for just a little time each day can bring to your body, and, of course, showing you exactly how to do it. The resting squat, also known as the deep squat or squat position, is simply a posture where you lower yourself until your glutes are almost touching your heels, keeping your feet firmly on the ground and your torso as upright as possible. It's a natural position used by many cultures that historically didn't rely on chairs for every occasion. In Asian countries, for example, it's common to see people chatting, cooking, or even waiting for public transportation in this type of squat. However, since we spend most of our time sitting in chairs, this posture has become unfamiliar, uncomfortable, and even difficult for a large part of the population. That said, the resting squat can be relearned and gradually incorporated into your daily routine. Benefits of the resting squat. Here are all the amazing benefits this overlooked, natural position can bring to your body. Benefit number 1, improved joint mobility. When we rest in a squat, we demand greater flexibility from the ankles, knees, and hips. Instead of keeping these joints locked at short angles, like when sitting in chairs, a deep squat allows for a full range of motion, helping to lubricate and nourish the cartilage. The longer you can stay in this position, the more your body adapts to maintaining and even increasing this mobility, reducing the chances of discomfort and premature wear over time. Benefit number 2, strengthening the core and lower back. To hold a squat position without falling backward, you need to activate your abdominal, lower back, and oblique muscles, along with other stabilizers in the torso. This strengthening happens simply because you're supporting your own body weight in the correct posture without relying on chairs or backrests. With regular practice, the lower back becomes less prone to pain, as the muscles supporting the spine work more effectively. This is especially beneficial as we age, since lower back pain is a common issue for people over 50. Benefit number 3, improved blood circulation. Sitting in chairs for long periods can compress blood vessels and restrict venous return, especially in the hips and thighs. The resting squat, on the other hand, encourages different angles of flexion and extension, stimulating circulation, and helping oxygenate muscle tissues. With better blood flow, post-workout recovery is faster, and there's an overall sensation of lighter legs. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Having access to the right information ensures that you keep improving your body and health gradually, without exposing yourself to the risk of injuries. Benefit number 4. Postural correction and tension relief. Many people suffer from shoulder and neck pain due to poor sitting posture, whether at work or at home. A deep squat, when done correctly, promotes balanced weight distribution, reduces excessive strain on the back and neck, and helps align the spine. With the torso more upright, the shoulders tend to relax, and accumulated tension in the shoulder blades can decrease, relieving pain and creating a feeling of lightness. Benefit number 5. Improved bowel function. It may sound surprising, but the squat position is also beneficial for proper intestinal function. Some people even use special stools in the bathroom to simulate the 35-degree hip flexion angle that makes bowel movements easier. By regularly practicing the resting squat, you help your body adapt to this natural intestinal alignment, improving elimination and reducing unnecessary strain that can lead to constipation or hemorrhoids. Benefit number 6. Increased calorie expenditure. Although it's not a high-intensity exercise, staying in a resting squat engages more muscle groups than simply sitting in a chair. You need to stabilize yourself and constantly activate your legs, glutes, and core, which increases energy expenditure even when you're not moving. Over time, this slight increase can be useful for complementing a weight management strategy, especially if you spend long hours at the computer or doing other sedentary activities. Benefit number 7. Development of body awareness. By fully lowering yourself and supporting your own weight, you start to notice details about balance, breathing, and muscle tension. This sensory feedback is invaluable for anyone looking to improve in other physical activities like yoga, Pilates, martial arts, or running. Essentially, the squat position helps retrain your body to use the right muscles for each movement, sharpening body awareness in a way that can positively impact all your daily activities. Now that you have plenty of reasons to start, let's teach you exactly how to perform the resting squat safely and effectively. It's also important to know which mistakes to avoid, so that this practice benefits your health instead of harming it. To begin, choose a safe and clean spot, preferably with a firm surface where you can be barefoot or wear shoes that don't restrict ankle movement. Stand with your feet about hip-width apart. Keep your weight evenly distributed between both feet, making sure not to overload one side more than the other. Bend your knees and start lowering your hips back and down as if you were sitting on an imaginary stool. Go down until your glutes are close to your heels. Instead of leaning forward or losing balance, try to keep your heels fully on the ground. If this is difficult at first, use light support, like a wall or holding onto something, to prevent falling. Align your spine, avoiding excessive arching or rounding of your back. A helpful trick is to look forward or keep your chest slightly lifted, which makes it easier to maintain a neutral spine. Inhale through your nose and exhale through your mouth, keeping your core slightly engaged to support your lower back. A steady breathing rhythm helps you relax in the position without tensing your shoulders too much. Start with 15 to 30 seconds and gradually increase to 1, 2, or even 5 minutes, depending on your comfort level and progress. During this time, pay attention to areas of tension and try to relax them. Common mistakes to avoid. Many people, when trying to practice the resting squat, make mistakes that can hinder their results or even cause unnecessary discomfort. The 4 main ones are: lifting the heels. If you stay on your toes, you're not training ankle mobility. Plus, this shifts tension to the front of the knee, which can put excessive strain on the joint. Rounding or hunching the back. A torso that leans too far forward defeats the purpose of the resting squat since the weight isn't properly distributed, and the lower back ends up suffering. Overly widening the feet. While it's normal to turn your toes slightly outward to accommodate hip mobility, excessive foot positioning can overload the inner knee area and throw off your balance. Holding your breath. Keeping air trapped in your chest creates unnecessary tension and can even cause dizziness. Breathing slowly and consciously allows you to relax and get the most out of the stretch. For many people, a deep squat feels impossible at first. This often happens due to muscle tightness in areas like the calves and hamstrings, weakness in the core, or even chronic lower back pain. Tips for those struggling and need to make the movement easier. targeted stretching. Focus on stretching the posterior chain, including the calves, glutes, hamstrings, and hip area. Simple exercises like standing on your toes and slowly lowering down can help loosen up the calves. Yoga poses such as downward-facing dog are also great for improving flexibility in the ankles and hamstrings. Core strengthening. Difficulty maintaining a squat often comes from a lack of trunk support. Exercises like front and side planks, glute bridges, and hypopressive abdominal exercises help strengthen the entire core and lower back, providing better stability so you don't lose balance. Use smart supports. If needed, hold onto a wall or a sturdy piece of furniture to help with balance in the beginning. You can also place a small platform under your heels to reduce the ankle mobility requirement. Over time, gradually lower the height of the platform until you can keep your feet completely flat on the ground. Practice for short durations and increase progressively. Try squatting for 10 to 15 seconds. Take a break, then repeat for another 10 to 15 seconds. Keep repeating these cycles until you reach a total of 1 minute. This way, your body gradually adapts, and your muscles and joints adjust without sudden strain. Incorporate it into your daily routine. Try replacing some moments where you would normally sit with a resting squat. For example, when talking on the phone, instead of sitting in a chair, try squatting for a few moments. Over time, this will become a natural habit, and you'll notice a significant improvement in flexibility and overall energy levels. With patience, consistency, and a few adjustments, anyone can regain the ability to squat like our ancestors did. The human body is incredibly adaptable. Even if we've spent years or even decades sitting, it's still possible to regain much of the mobility we've lost. If you're just starting out, remember to respect your limits, go at your own pace, and celebrate every small victory. Any progress, no matter how small, is already a step toward a healthier, more balanced body. Incorporating just a few minutes of resting squat daily can make a huge difference in the long run. It's a way to reconnect with your body's natural structure, rediscovering that our posture doesn't have to and shouldn't be confined to a chair. Over time, you'll not only gain mobility, but also develop greater body awareness and experience fewer discomforts caused by modern sedentary life. Your future self will thank you for this investment in care and attention. If you enjoyed this, don't forget to check out the video now appearing on your screen, where we show the best exercise for every muscle in your body. Thanks for watching, and may God bless you, my friend.